It's only about 5 questions. 4. Great. I love these tutorials. Okay, so you know what you need to do, right? Enable services. And then go to Oracle plus minus. I'm ready. Yeah, we need the database every time. Yeah, we don't have it. So script. Yeah, HR is enough. So now you should be expert, right? You know what you need to do. Not yet? Yeah, maybe you can have it automated process. Now I'm ready. Who is ready to? Forgot? Start, copy the path. Make sure it's unzipped, huh? Make sure your folder is unzipped. Then find the script location and run this command. Password Oracle. Small letter. Not working. Start the service. And services in Windows, don't forget to start the service. This one. Go to services, locate Oracle service, ORCL, and then start it. Okay, since we are ready, then we can officially start the session. So the first question, find the highest, lowest, sum, and average salary of all employees. Label the column as maximum, minimum. So here in this case, we need to use aggregation functions. All right? We need to apply aggregation to find maximum, minimum, sum, and average. So those aggregation functions are available in every database. So for Oracle, simply for maximum, you need to call the function max. Then you provide the label or the column name. Column name. Okay, for minimum, same, min. Same. Then for average, AVG stands for average, column name. And finally, what else do they need? Sum. So we are going to use these 4 functions inside SQL query to get the maximum, minimum, average, and the summation of the salary for all employees. Okay, some simple statistics or descriptive statistics. So what we need to write? Select max, then salary, since we are interested to apply on salary column. And then we need to provide label as, then max, maximum, then min, salary, same as minimum, then average, salary as average. Finally, we need sum, salary as sum from employees. I have spelling mistake. Max, min, average. sum, then we have not employees, employees. Then here we go. So the maximum value is 24K, minimum is 2.6K, average is 9 plus the summation for all salaries paid for all employees is 216,000 plus. Okay? Clear? So very easy. Those are the aggregation functions you can use at any time to get like the maximum value, minimum, average, and sum. Clear? So now we're done with question 1. Encoding, view, what is it? Language. SQL. Okay. Now we go to question 2. Modify the query in question 7. I don't know where is question 7 to display the maximum. I think question 1 to display the maximum, minimum, sum, and average salary for each job ID. Okay, so now we're not interested for each and every employee, but for each job ID. That means inside the database, if we check, let's see what jobs we have. So we can say select distinct. Remember from the other day, we can say select distinct job ID from employees. Let's see what jobs are available. So we got all these jobs. We have 15 rows. Out of how many rows? If we need to know how many rows we have inside the database, so also we can have count. This is, you can add also count. This is quite famous. So count is gonna give me the total number or how many rows I have. So I can use count as well. So let's see, we can use count. Then I can put asterisk. Asterisk means all columns. I don't want to be specific for any from employees. So I have 22 rows. I have 22 records. Out of these 20 rows includes 15 jobs. So some people belong, we have more than one people belong to certain jobs, right? Not just one, because here 15 out of total 22 records. Okay? So now the idea is I need to show for each job. That means let's say me and you belong to the same job. Then I need to show here only the maximum, minimum, sum, and average for our group, because we are located in the same job. Then maybe here another group belong to the same job ID. I need to get minimum, maximum, average, and sum for all your salary for this group. You got the idea? So it's important to understand the question first before you start typing. Okay? Not like you open up and then say, what I need to do, what I need to do. But you don't understand what the question is. So first, then understand the question. Then you move on. Okay, so now we got it, but now the question is how we can group up. How we can group up, let's say, the employees based on their job ID. Remember group by? We used it before. We have group by. So we can tell Oracle or SQL Server that to group up the records based on column or columns. One column or a group of columns. So let's see how. Let's say I'm interested before I find the maximum, minimum, sum, and average. I need to group by those based on ID and then see how many, like this one. Let's do this one and then we come back, then we come forward again. Just I'm interested to see how many people belong to each job ID. Okay? So what I need to type in this case, select job ID, then count. I need to know how many people belong to each job. Okay? Then from employees, then group by what? We need to group by what? Based on job ID. So I need to say job underscore ID. That's it. So here I can see how many people belong to each job. So for AD press, we have single employee. For AD VP, we have 2. For IT program, we have 3, and so on and so forth. Now among these, let's say 3, for each group of these, for each group, I'm interested to find out the minimum, maximum, sum, and average salary for each and every group, not for all employees. Okay? So for this group, I need to know what is the minimum salary, what is the maximum salary, and so on. For this group, same. Here we have only one. So minimum, maximum, sum, and average is going to be same, right? And so on. You got the question? Okay, so now we move back. So this is question 3. Actually, this one for question 3. It's easier than we already resolved. This is for question 3. Now back to question 2. Question 2 is requires more work. And by the way, something else just now I remembered for your solution. You can use also for the question 1 round. If you want to round the salary, let's say if you have decimal point, then you can round, especially like for average, right? So here you can type, remember this, we used round before, and then we provide the precision. So I need to round where I have 0 decimal point. So you can use round and apply for each and every column. Okay? Okay, we used it before, huh? This is not first time. So 0 here, and so on. But the question doesn't say this. But the solution provided, they use round. But anyway, the question doesn't say. So the question should be clearer about this. Anyway, so we're back to 2. So now we need to show job ID. So select job ID. Okay. Then we need to show the maximum, same. Max, again, you can use round. For now, I'm not going to use, later we can add up. Max what? Max what? Salary. We're looking for salary, maximum salary. Right? As, again, we need to put alias name for the column. Minimum as minimum. Then we have average as average. Then we have sum, salary as sum. From employees, did we miss something? No, right? Everything, okay. From employees. Now, if I just do this, I'm gonna get same result like question 1. But now I need for each group. So I have to say, I'm not done yet, group by job ID. Okay. So let's run. We get 15, and this is the way. So for each job, what is the maximum salary? What is the minimum and the average? But it would be interesting if you show how many employees belong to that category. If you like, just for demonstration, for this example, but it's not required. So anyway, I'm gonna copy and place it inside this file. Now, just for demonstration purpose, So I'm gonna also add max, min, average, sum, and I like to know how many employees belong in each group as then count from employees group by job ID. Okay, now it's more meaningful. I can see for this category, we have single employee and the maximum salary, minimum average is going to be same because only one employee, right? Here we got to, the maximum is 17. Yeah, the minimum is 17, average is 17. So what does it mean? All employees have the same salary here. Though we have two, but all of them have the same salary. This is why we got same maximum and minimum. The third one, we have 3 employees belong to this category. The minimum, so the maximum is 9K, the salary. The minimum one is 4.2K. The average, of course, you take these two, divide by 2, you get 6K.4, and the summation for all of them, for the 3 salary, and so on. Any question? Okay. Now we're done with 3 questions. Wow, this is why today is amazing. Only 4, but I think the solution includes one more. Modify the query. Let me check. I think the solution includes one more question. Yeah, there is one more question. I don't know why it's missing in the question. So there is one more. Okay, but don't see the answer, huh? Close your eyes. Maybe I put it there. So we're coming later. This is for question 5. Okay. Okay. So now we move on to question 4 before we proceed to question 5. Question 4. So question 4 says, modify the query that we got here earlier and show only the IT program record. That means I don't want to show all of these records. I need only to show the record belong to IT program. So what we need to use in this case? Where clause, right? Said something else? Oh, okay. Because there's 2 ways. That's why I'm asking you. There's another way. So this is one way we can use where clause, right? To filter out only the records that belong to this IT program. Correct? This is like simpler one, like we do at ordinal days, the past days. So in this case, what we need to write? Anyone likes to come here and write? We have plenty of time. Anyone likes to volunteer? I can take your position, sit down, and then you tell me what to write. Anyone? Any 2, any 3, any 4? No one? Okay, then I have no option. Then select. So we need to repeat same idea. So what we have here, we need to get job ID. So select job ID. Then count. By the way, you can't type here salary. You can't type whatever, because just I need to count record. Or usually just put asterisk and don't bother. Okay, now one way, one solution. This is solution 1. Just simply I can type here from employees as usual. Then we say where job ID equal IT prog. Correct? But since I have count, then I need aggregation. I need group by. I still need group by. So I say group by job ID. And this gives me the result. So I have 3 people and only for IT proc. Correct? So this is solution 1. This is solution 1. There is solution 2. So here's Sol 2, solution 2. Anyone knows what is solution 2? Has any one of you ever used having? Having. Not having breakfast or having lunch, but having with group by. Okay, so there's a difference. We know where clause. This is one, and now we have new one having, but each one is different usage, but they do the same purpose for filtering out records. So for where, we use where when we need to filter what? Records or rows, right? So we need to filter rows or records. Okay? Like we have used this where many times before. So we filter out rows. We have having. Having is used by group by. So keep in mind this is for group by. When you have group by, you use having. But this one, to filter what? To filter groups. If you wish to filter groups, so you already have group by, like the student, let's say, based on the job ID or employees. After I group by, I like to filter. Then I can use having. Where, different. Where it will do filtering on the level of rows with select. So we use this with select. So this one, when I use select, then let's say asterisk from employees where job ID equal IT program. So that means select is gonna go scan the table. So literally what I'm saying is gonna happen. The Oracle is going to the table, scan record by record, row by row, to filter out only those records that have job ID IT program, right? Everyone knows this. Having, so let me write you first the second solution, then I explain. So it's gonna be almost same. Then we don't need to have this here. Can take it out. I put here group by, then having, same. So same condition. This is the second solution. But there's a difference in execution. So what is the difference? The difference is when I used having, that means literally Oracle has done the following. It will go and fetch all records inside database for this table. Then group them up based on job ID. So that means we're gonna have different groups as we've seen from the previous query. Only then the condition will be applied to exclude those records that do not fulfill this condition. Okay? I repeat again. So this one, the operation by Oracle as follows. First, read all records, because here there's nowhere clause. There's nowhere clause. So all records will be fetched. Okay? Then group them by group ID. So we're gonna have group 1 with the 3 employees, group 2 with 1 employee, group 3 with 2 employees, and so on. So it's gonna group all of them up. Only then it's gonna impose restriction on which group to select. Only the group that has the job ID IT program is gonna be chosen. Okay, clear? While this one is different. This one, while scanning the record row by row, is gonna filter out. Only take those records that belong to IT program, then group by. And of course, we have only one group in this case because we already have filtered out the other records. But here, no. We're gonna group up all the employees first, then only we apply where or having. Clear the difference? Okay? Clear? Anyone like get again explanation? Okay. So let's check, see whether it's working or not. Same result. Okay. So you can use where, you can use having, but be cautious on which one to use. Not all the time where or having gonna give you the same result. Not all the time. So be cautious about the question, because next question is gonna show you that we have to use having, not where clause. Question number 5. We're gonna see question number 5 where we have to use having, not where clause. So let's see question number 5. Question number 5 says, create a report to display the manager number. So we have manager number, by the way, here. So if you check, select manager ID from employees. So we have manager ID, okay? And some of them has no manager. You see here, there's empty row, right? There's empty row here. That means some people got no manager. They have no manager. Maybe they are the manager. They are the boss, so they have no manager, okay? And the salary, okay, so create report to display the manager number and the salary for whom? For the lowest paid employee for that manager. Okay, for the lowest paid employee for that manager. So under that manager, we need to find out who have or who has the lowest paid salary. Okay, clear so far? So I need to find the lowest paid employee under each and every manager. Let's do this one alone first. Then we grow up our query slowly, a year by year. So select, I'm not sure if you need year by year. So select what? Select manager ID. Then minimum salary, right? Easy so far. You have become master. Then from employees, right? Then group by manager ID. So we got these cases. So under manager 1, the minimum salary or the lowest salary is 5,800. Under manager 2, or 102, the lowest paid employee is 9K. Under manager 103, the lowest paid employee 4,200, and so on. But we got here again a record who have no manager or who has no manager ID. Why I'm saying this? Because here exclude anyone whose manager ID is not known, like the case here. We need to exclude this record. We need to take it out. How? How to take it out? What we need to apply? I tell the PC, please take it out. Nothing happens.
Can we say that the value is smaller than 24,000?
The value shouldn't be smaller than 24,000.
Yeah.
Okay, here it may work. This is a workaround. Okay, it may work for this case. But how about other cases? Let's say here the salary is 50K. Then you cannot apply less than, right? So, good try, very good. Excellent, actually. At least you can find a workaround to run away at some time if you have no other option. Then what we need to do, we need to say that those manager ID, which is what? Null. We need to exclude, right? Very good. So select manager ID, minimum salary from employee. Before group by, we can say where manager ID is not null. Just you write as you say, is not null. Then group by manager ID. So I took out that record, no more. Okay? Let's carry on. Now it says exclude any group and keep highlight this 100 times. I cannot make it bold. I cannot do anything, but highlight it on your side 100 times until you cannot see the word. Exclude any groups where the minimum salary is 6K or less. Why I'm asking you to look at this one? In this case, so let me rephrase the question in another way. Do I need to use where clause or having in this case? Where clause or having? Yes?
Is it where?
Okay. According to where, it's going to filter what? Rows.
So,
And the question here, filter out what? Groups. So which one for groups? Having. Very good. And here, also you participated. Okay? Clear why? Now if you try to use where and having, you're gonna get two different answers. Let's try and see. Always try. You don't believe the PC can prove to you the concept. So let's do the required one first, then we come back. Not null, group by, then having min salary. So we use min salary again. That's fine. Here it says what? Exclude any group where the minimum salary is 6K or less. That means having minimum salary should be greater than 6K. Correct? According to the question. Now we run. We got these two. Okay? If we use where clause, let's see what's going to happen. If I use where clause to filter records, because I can filter also the employees whose salary is less than 6K from beginning, before I do group by. So let's see whether it's going to be same answer, but let me copy this one first. Put it here. And this is not done yet. We still need to sort out the output, but it's going to be easy. This is the last stage. We're coming back into it. So now let's try the other solution and see whether it's going to produce the same result. If it produces the same result, then that's fine to some extent. If not, then we need to find out what's happened. Minimum from employees where manager ID is not null and right salary or minimum salary. Actually here we need to use salary. Salary is greater than 6K, right? Then group by manager ID. This is, some people might think this is a second solution, but according to this question, not so. And see what happened. How the output is different. Why? The big question with big question mark, why? If you can tell me why, I'm gonna give you 10 chocolates at once. Yeah, why? We have conundrum. Why? Then today ask your family, tell them I got you a conundrum, let's enjoy our time with. Sorry? And, because of the word and. So what do you propose? Or. But if you say or, that means again, if you got any person, either one correct, it should be okay. But our question is not like that. That means either the manager is not null or the salary is greater than 6K. And it's not the case. But good try. Anyone else? They look equivalent, right? But they are not. And the proof is they have produced different output. And the trick is to find the answer, is to think about the operations that Oracle has done, like what I explained earlier. 1, 2, 3. If you do these steps, you're going to find out where the dispute has happened and why.
Is it because of the group buy?
Mm-hmm. No, group by has no problem. Only the difference is whether you have where clause, like here, or having salary, minimum salary is greater than 6. Now, anyone? Before I maintain my 10 chocolate? Last try? So you don't say I'm rushing so that I don't give away 10 chocolates.
So the question is the difference between the having and
Yeah, what's happened? Why we got different output?
because where is filter row by row and group it. But having is group it then filter the
Yeah. Yeah, this is what.
so
But again, can you explain more why we got here extra records and here less records? Firstly, which one is correct? The first one or second? First. Second. 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 Anyone has another opinion? So far we have 3 for second solution, 1. Sorry, you said 1, yeah. So 1 for first solution, 3 for second solution. The rest? Who opt for solution 1? 1, 2, 3. Solution 2? Okay, so all. Actually, the correct one is solution 1. Why? For this question, not all the time. This is why I told you to highlight the word 100 times. Exclude any group. Any group. That means after we group up all the employees, then exclude those groups that they do not fulfill this condition where the minimum salary is less than 6K. In other words, after I group up the employees, those group that they contain employee of salary less than 6K, exclude the whole group, regardless whether they have more other employees with higher salary than 6K. I don't care. Okay? Clear? So again, after I group up, the question says exclude any group where the minimum salary. In other words, after you group up, those groups that include employee whose salary, the minimum salary, is less than 6K, exclude. Even if there's other employees inside the same group who earn more than 6K, I don't care. But the minimum salary for this group is less than 6K. I don't need those groups. So this is why the solution 1 is correct. Now back to the challenge. Why the other one didn't work? Because simply the other one is not meant to exclude groups, but exclude employees. As I said, there are still other groups with employees who earn more than 6K. Which groups in this case? We have here all 102, here 102, 149, 149, those groups. The group of manager ID 100 and manager ID 101, they have employees who earn less than 6K and more than 6K. This is why they have appeared here. Okay? Clear? Because here I have excluded all the employees. So where clause is gonna scratch or drop out those records for employees who do not earn more than 6K. After that, it's gonna group up, and then it's gonna take the minimum salary for each group. You got the question, the idea, but the question is not like that. It's asking you to group up. Then inspect each group. See whether the group has minimum salary of less than 6K, exclude the whole group. This is why I told you to highlight this. To highlight this, to ensure here it says exclude any groups where the minimum salary. It talks about filtering groups. So this is why we have to use having. Clear now? So I'm gonna keep the 10 chocolates. Oh. So here we don't have second solution. We have only one solution correct according to the question. Now we have the last here requirement, which is to sort out the output. So I'm gonna copy this and just modify it. So here, ordered by minimum salary, descending order. That's it. Okay? So by the way, you can use again minimum salary. Since you can use it at any time, that's fine, as minimum salary. Okay? Now if we run, that's it. So now it makes sense. For a group whose manager is 102, the minimum salary for that group is 9K. There's no employee inside that group who earns less than 9K. Right? Correct? To reinforce the understanding, this means for a group whose manager is 102, the minimum salary among the group member is 9K. Right? And for 149, the minimum salary is 7K. But I cannot say the same for this one. This one I cannot say. Can I say for group 100, the minimum salary is 7,900? With where clause cannot. Because during where clause, I have excluded some employees. I don't know what their salary was or their salary were. All right? Because I excluded them. So here I cannot say such statement. I cannot say group whose manager 100, the minimum salary is 7,900. Maybe yes, maybe no, because the query is not correct. But for this one, I can say with full confidence that 102 is 9K, the minimum salary. Because after I group up, I inspect each group. While there, I have excluded the employees, those earns less than 6K, then only I group the remaining. So I don't know what's happened for those drop out from each group, whether they earn any group maybe includes any employee who earns less than 6K. Okay, clear? So that's why you need to understand what's going on. Actually, when I was preparing for the class, I wrote why I got different result. Then I start to think, oh yeah, then because where is gonna filter out those employees at early stage, then this is why I got the groups of 4. Okay? Any question? We're done for this practical. If you have any question, or maybe you have a query in mind you wish to try, then we can do it together. Any? No. The only query, anyone has any query? Or the only query is to dismiss? Select dismiss from class. Okay. So I saved this. You want this, right? This file? You want this? Or I throw it in rubbish? Okay, then I'm gonna save it. You can obtain it from your PC, from the shared folder on your desktop. I'm going to name it practical. Practical. This is 7, right? 7 SQL. So just open your shared folder on your PC. Okay. Again, just extra, as I said, here the question doesn't say, but yeah, your lecturer has provided a solution like this with round for max, minimum, sum, and average. And that makes sense because the output is already provided to you. It doesn't say, but we don't have decimal points, especially for average, because we may obtain. But that's weird, we didn't see any average, any decimal point anyway, or any average value, even without round. Maybe it happened to be all of them, just they give integer value. Okay, so if you like to have the same answer here, that's fine. Just let me delete this first.